I am so sorry. Can anyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, please can you type LA, you're forgiven.
Yes,
And I
we can see
promise.
it.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
all
see the
right.
screen
So
now.
just to make me feel
Yeah,
comfortable, can you
please,
please
you
type
know.
LA, you're forgiven? It's raining heavily, and I apologize for any um thank you so much. Any interference. So let's go quickly. I'm sure you all know me. I'm the global president for Textilers, and I'm very passionate when it comes to um, mentoring and all sorts. Today we're going to be looking at my passion and my career. For those of you that have been on for a while, once again, I apologize. So today we're going to look at how to align what you love with you do what you do changes everything permanently. Sorry. So I know a lot of you have heard about passion, a lot of you have heard about career, right? And you're wondering, I know a lot of people have come to me to say, how do I discover my passion? What's my passion? Is my career my passion? I love what I'm doing. Does that mean it's my passion? We're going to take a look at all of this today, and I'll make sure that we finish in good time so that we can ask questions. So today, this is what we'll be covering. There's going to be an open question. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. We'll look at what passion really means. For those of you that feel you're yet to discover your passion, what can you do with your passion? How can you take your passion to the next step? And we'll also look at passion, skill, and career, and how that is being interwoven. We'll look at the pitfalls and the hard truth, and we'll look at a life exercise. I'll make sure that we are able to do this in the next less than 45 minutes. Now, what's the opening question we're looking at here? So, assuming you woke up tomorrow and money was never an issue again, you have all the money in this world, or we don't spend money again in this world, what would you build? What would be that thing that you want people to um, think about, or what people would use, and when they use it, they think about you? Can one or two person just think of something and just type it, or raise your hand up and or mute and answer? Is there anything that you feel you know is something that people would want to have? If when you think about money not being an issue, you're not doing it for money, you're not um building that solution for money. Is there anyone that's let me look at the chat? Is anyone saying anything? Thank you for forgiving me. No one is saying anything. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah, I can see someone's hand up. Yeah, ITSU 30ZN. Go ahead, say it. Elvis, go ahead quickly.
I will be able to
Morning,
aid
ma.
other people.
Excellent. You'll be able
Hello?
to help other people. That's good. Yeah. Any other person? Austin?
Morning, ma.
Telemedicine. Good
Morning.
morning, ma. I think I would
Morning.
rather do telemedicine. That's telemedicine for people.
Say that again.
Telemedicine, that's medicals.
Telemedicine. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Any
Okay.
other person?
I would think I'll look about the logistics, like our logistics. I'll help in the logistics area, transportation.
Excellent. Yeah. So you see, there's so many people here today, this morning, that are passionate about things, and they're not even thinking about money. Remember, I said if money is not involved, do you still have that passion? So that's what this is all about. Your passion should be beyond money. It shouldn't be something that is tied with money. Otherwise, it will be a bit difficult to separate your passion from your career, right? So, like I said earlier, I'm going to talk about my story. Now, when I was younger, um, I've always wanted to be a mathematician. I just love the fact that you could solve issues, you could solve problems. And I'm sure that was what related into me being a mentor right now. So, I just like the fact that people can put one figure and another figure together and it gives a solution, right? And I recall when I was writing my first jam, I was very young then. I finished secondary school, I think around 15 or thereabouts. And my dad especially was like, why would you want to read mathematics? So he discouraged me. I wrote jam again, and guess what? I put mathematics again. And he was like, no, you're not going to read mathematics. And of course, when I wrote jam the third time, he was like, this time I'm going to fill this form for you. I'm not going to fill this form. And he put computer science. And I was like, what the hell is computer science? I mean, that was way back. And then, what the hell is computer science? Nobody knows what computer science is and all of that. I said, you're going to read computer science. That who wants, he doesn't want his child to end up to be a lecturer, because that was the only thing we could think of in those days that mathematicians will be when they finish, So I'd always wanted to be a mathematician. So I got into university and I started with computer science. And of course, because it wasn't something I was passionate about, I struggled. I'd just be in class to say, when I remember my dad was like, okay, let me just read and pass. And, I didn't put my mind into it, but I kept doing it, right? And of course, I finished and I got a job. And because I've always wanted mathematics, I got the job and I was more into the money. Oh, this is good money. Oh, so with computer science, you can make money and all of that. So I was excited about the money. I'd lost, the passion, the energy, myself in it. There was no direction. We didn't have mentorship in those days. And unfortunately for me, I was working with a team where I was the only girl. I was the last employee in that department. So I was practically doing almost all the I'll call it dirty jobs, hands-on jobs that my bosses were doing. And, it just went on and on and on. Then after a while, I started loving my career and I started doing, putting my best into it, right? And that was when I said, you know what, I have some hands up. Is there any problem, or is it the former hands? Can you please drop your hands if you don't have any question, or you can drop your question in the chat board so that someone can help me in the community to look at it. All right. So I got into my passion, right? And into the career. And I said, you know what? I'm here already. There's nothing I can do. Let me just love it. That was when I started, getting into different domains in tech, wanted to know so much about tech because I realized that I'd lost that time that I needed to learn so much, while I was in school. I was just reading to pass and to make my father happy. So I got into, and I wanted to know more. And that was what got into my passion of writing, going for training, writing so many certifications and all of that. So I stopped at some point saying, what job can I get, to say, okay, I've done this, I've been in this sector. What other job can I do? What other sector can I go to? Right? And started asking, what problem am I obsessed with solving? I realized that my journey has been so interesting when it comes to career. And I said to myself, I'm going to help people. I'm going to teach people, the things that I did not have the opportunity for someone to teach me, but I learned it the hard way. I learned it myself, right? I would not allow people to go through what I went through. And that was when teaching and mentoring became part of me. And for some reason, a lot of people after, my classes, they're like, oh, that was good. I didn't understand this in this way. I had it, I had a better understanding and all of that. And, it just gives me that joy. And I knew there was something about that. And maybe that was why that mathematics I wanted to read initially to becoming a teacher was just part of me, So I would say this, that initially when I wanted to read mathematics, yes, I wanted to be a teacher, but now after 3 decades, here I am, doing what I was passionate about, but I didn't know how to go about it, right? So the moment that question flips around, everything else just follows, and you realize that you're back on track. So don't ever think that you're out of track. So that's my story. Now, what passion really is, a lot of us don't even know what passion is. They just feel, oh, passion is what I like and what I want to do and all of that. So we're going to look at passion versus career. Passion can be very risky because remember, I wanted to read mathematics because I wanted to be a teacher. I love the fact that you could solve issues and all of that. So again, that wasn't going to give me money in those days. That wasn't going to probably give me, I probably would never get to the stage that I would, even if I become a professor, right? I probably won't be able to afford a house in Banana Island or in Orange Island, right? For those of you in Nigeria. But that was my passion. So sometimes passion can be risky, but career, you find out that career is a bit stable, whatever it is, on the 24th, at the end of the month, or in 2 weeks' time, I'm getting my salary, right? So we think passion is something you do for the weekend, something that is like a side hustle, and we always look at career as a 9 to 5, where I get my salary, where I can pay my bills, right? Now, the stakes are real when it comes to passion. So there's an Harvard review that talked about 85% of employees worldwide get disengaged at work. And this review was done in 2023. You can imagine that amount of people that get disengaged is either the company says, we're sorry, we don't need your services again, or you say, you know what, I'm done with this organization, or you say, you know what, it's time to retire, right? But 2.5 times of those people more, you have like 2.5 more productive people that are more productive when they're doing their passion. So for instance, like I said, I wanted to be a mathematician because I wanted to teach. I was passionate about teaching. You can imagine me teaching now, I'm more productive. You can wake me up anytime and say, oh, Ellie, we need you to come and, teach on this particular topic. I'll be so productive doing it because that's what I love to do, right? Compared to if you say, oh, maybe come and fix this car or change this tire or something, So that's what research has come to make us see, that people are 2.5 times more productive when they're doing things that align with their passion. And the research has also said that 41%, there's always a 41% absenteeism, in passion-driven roles. So when you're not passionate about what you're doing, right, people's mind are not there. Recall what I said at the beginning when my dad said, oh, you have to read computer science. And I'm like, what the hell is computer science in those days, So I wasn't really, my mind wasn't there. I was just studying, because I don't want to get home and show him a C or a D, I wanted to go home and show him a B or an A, you understand? So that's real. That's what passion and career does to individual. So we're going to look at the myths and the reality when it comes to, redefining your passion. A lot of people believe in the myth that says that, oh, when you have passion, it's always very exciting. Everything goes well for you. Everything works for you and all of that. A passion is more like a direction, like a compass. It's not a guarantee that, oh, you're going to make it. Like I said, I was so passionate about really studying mathematics, having so much, becoming a lecturer and all of that. And when you compare it to finances, I probably won't be where I am today, and I apologize to all the great teachers, in the world. But you don't for some reason when you compare them with their likes that probably read computer science and they're doing great jobs and having earning great salaries, it's not there. But you see, what keeps you with your passion is you're happy with what you're doing, you have so much joy, and you're just in your comfort zone, right? Another myth is, with passion, people say, oh, you're born with your passion, that's what you're meant to do, yeah, this and that. Well, not not exactly, because sometimes you realize that you develop this passion through curiosity and effort. Like a lot of people will say, oh, I love to like for instance, I love to teach, I love to mentor, right? But I was a mentee before I became a mentor. Someone has to teach you before you become a teacher, right? So it's not like, oh, you're a born what do I call it now? You're a born surgeon. No, you have to go to medical school, you have to become a consultant before you can start opening up people, right? Even if that is your passion. So that there's this myth I need us to understand. Don't say, oh, this person is born with it, that's why this person can do it excellently well. Again, there's also this myth that says follow it and success is instant. Trust me, success is not instant. There are times where you get discouraged. There are times where you need to encourage yourself. You know what the good book says? Encourage yourself in the Lord. You need to encourage yourself, because things will go down. The numbers will not meet, the bills will not be paid, but you still have to keep going. So it's an intersection of joy and obsession. Like I said earlier, you're passionate, you love it, this is what makes you happy, and you're obsessed about it. And the last one I'll be talking about today is it should pay bills from day one. Trust me, passion does not pay bills from day one. You can ask the likes of people that let's look even in Africa. Look at the Flutterwaves guy, the Paystack guys. They all started from humble beginning. It didn't pay their bills. It paid their bills over the years, right? So something worth doing when it's hard it's actually what passion is. Now, so I'm going to take us quickly to this Japanese story, right? And I'm kind of passionate about this because my daughter is a purple belt in karate, so for some reason I've been trying to get into the Japanese space lately. So there's this thing called ikigai, right, in Japanese, and this is what is all about, ikigai. So the first thing is what you love, and that's your passion. Things that you will do when they wake you up anytime you're doing it. Things that you will do flawlessly, right? That's what ikigai talks about when it comes to passion. What you love and what you're doing, what you're good at doing arts, and that's your career. Over the years, I've been a system administrator. I'm good at it. I can close my eyes and solve issues. I've been a cybersecurity expert. I've been a developer. I've been this, I've been that, whatever it is that you're good at, that's your profession. And it says what you can be paid for, and that's your vocation. They're being paid as an expert, as a business analyst, as an expert, as a data analyst. That is your vocation. And what the world needs, that's the mission. So your passion has to integrate with what the world needs. Does the world need what I have? Does the world need my passion? Do they need what I'm building, what I believe? Someone had said that, oh, I'd love to have a telematic, I'd love to help people and all of that. Does the world need that right now? That's what Kigai is talking about. Now let's quickly look at passion, skill, and career. So when you talk about passion, skill, and career, right? You look at the discover, the portion, the part that talks about, how to discover, right? What makes you lose track of time? That's your passion. There are things that you do, right? You work all through the night till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and you're still doing it. You don't get exhausted. You're so into it, you're passionate about it, you just want to see the end of it, and you find out that there are other things that are not even your career. That's your career. Maybe you're working from home, or your tax at the office, and you find out that once it's 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., your eyes are closing. You're not too, even if the money is good, you're not gingered to continue fixing the issue, right? But what you do, and even though you know there is no money involved, but this is what you just want to build. I just want to change the world. I just want to, make people happy. I want to build an app that, plus size people will feel very comfortable in their skin and all of that. That is your passion, right? Then there's a practice. The practice is the deliberate effort beyond your comfort zone. Right? This thing is not giving you money. It's not giving you revenue. You don't have instant gratification. But at this point, because it's what you believe in, you're ready to bring in all resources to even get a loan, to be able to bring this, your vision or your passion to fusion, right? And the last one is validate. Validate is, does the world pay for this problem? When I fix this problem, when I build this solution that I've been taught in Textilers, will the world be ready to pay for it? So here I said, every circle deepens your expertise. As you go from discovery to practice to validate, right? It makes you a better person. And you become an expert in what you're doing. I mean, when I started as a mentor, I wasn't as good as I am today, but at some point I was able to get into Google mentorship program, and I became a certified Google mentor. I was able to get into ADPC. I became an ADPC mentor certified, and so many other paid mentorship as well. Accomplished HR is a paid mentorship. I was able to get into that space as well, and was over time. It wasn't that I just started and I became an expert, right? So passion gives you that fuel. You can have a car and there's no fuel in your car and you expect the car to move. So your skills, what you've built over the years, is that car, right? And passion is the fuel you need into that car so that you can move to your desired destination. So now let's look at the, my strength. That is your strength, right? Throughout your life, you've discovered that you've gone through a lot of experiences, you've gone through a lot of challenges, you've had lessons learned, you've accomplished a lot of things. So what insights have you gained about yourself during all those times? Is there anything you've discovered to say, you know what, I think this is who I am? I think I've just discovered who I am. Can one or two persons just tell us what they think they've discovered over this couple of years, through whatever challenges, experiences that they've gone through? Is anyone ready to say anything? Either in the chat box or just raise up your virtual hand and just respond.
This is how Law defends Eminem when Benzino said people like Eminem's music just because he's white.
Hello, Sunday, are you saying something? If you're saying something, Sunday, we can't hear you. Is anybody saying anything? All right, so let's move on quickly because of time. I actually wanted to hear from someone. While someone is thinking about that, can someone else talk about what strengths you've identified and how would you further enhance that strength? What have you discovered about yourself that is your strength? Is it football? Is it cooking? Yes, go ahead, Ede. Thank you. Chukwemeka.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I think for me, over the past years, in my experience and accomplishments, I've come to discover how I love to grow within Africa. Before my graduation, my aim was just to go outside Africa, Europe, and other parts of the world. But after traveling within these three continents, I discovered that my love is within Africa. And I've been growing this passion of, I think I need to build in Africa. I think I need to stay in Africa. I think I need to develop Africa. For me, I don't really get freaked about Europe these days. So that's my experience so far.
That's excellent. I think discover. Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Emeka. I think we need to give him a round of applause, please. Everyone, show him some love. That's so great. I mean, saying that people are still passionate about Africa. And I tell you what, Africa is one place where you can get rich quickly when you build a solution for Africa, because we have the numbers, we have the people, we have all it takes, right? So he has been able to identify that strength after going through after traveling all the continents, and to say, you know what, this is where I belong. This is where I need to build something for Africa. Thank you so much for that. So let's prove that passion is possible. Now we're going to talk about real people. We've seen Emeka, right? Chukwuemeka now. Now let's look at Marcus Brownlee. He's one guy that said, I need to build tech on YouTube for people. Right now, this guy has over 21 million subscribers, right? And all he did was he built tech videos on YouTube, and he has about over 1,800 videos. And guess what? This guy started from his room. Remember what I said? Something that will keep you up all night, that you won't even know. There are times when I'm up till 4 a.m. and I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't sleep, right? And I know that all I have is just 1 hour to sleep before I wake up again and have my morning devotion. So it is that thing that wakes you up. And a lot of great people started from their bedroom. Steve Jobs started from his garage. A lot of people started from little beginning. Even the Flutterwave guys started from, is it 1 bedroom or a 2 bedroom in Yaba? And look at where they are right now. Tolu is another person, right? She's passionate about, I think she's in North America. She's passionate about finances when it comes to Black community. She's realized that Black community, you know how we are. We like to show off. We like to be very elegant and all of that. And the savings part, the finance part, the investment part, we were lacking in that. And she said, you know what, I need to start talking about this. I need to start building engagement around how, Black community can become wealthy as against and prudent, as against being lavish. And Ire is another wonderful lady, that used our dev blogs to build when Bitcoin and all the coins were not there, to build something around her passion. So you can actually use your passion to solve the solution in the world. Now let's look at the blueprint, like the 5 moves. Right now, right? I want us to say to ourselves, you're going to have like a side project that you'll be doing while you're working, right? Build something real, no matter how small that thing is. Just think of something that you're passionate about that will keep you awake, right? Just build that thing, that small thing, right? Start building it, then ship it publicly, put it out somewhere. Rather than all the WhatsApp groups that you have, Textiler community group, all those your alumni groups, and all those WhatsApp groups that you have, just ship it there, drop it there, let people test your app, test what you're doing, test what you're passionate about, test what you want to talk about, right? Then build an audience in the public, document this journey, talk about your story, let people hear it, let people see your passion, right? Then you monetize with intention. Don't say the end goal. Don't always look at the end goal as money. Look at the end goal as joy. Look at the end goal as you want to be part of the story. When they talk about Africa, they talk about Chukwuemeka. When they talk about Africa, they talk about Elvis, right? Then make that leap where you look at the numbers and you say, you know what, I think I'm where I need to be right now. I think it's time to leave the corporate job. I think it's time to say goodbye to the corporate job and let me build this and let me put my 100% in this. But please always note, before you leave the corporate job, don't say, LA said I should leave my corporate job because I found my passion. Make sure you have a minimum of your 6 months to 1 year salary, because again, you don't want to leave that kind of lifestyle because you're pursuing your passion. Remember, I said your passion does not come from day one. Your income or your passion does not come from day one. You don't start making that money from day one. So you make sure that you have that savings somewhere, so your lifestyle is still the same. You don't get demoralized, you don't get demotivated while you're chasing your passion, right? Now let's look at the pitfall and the hard truth. So there's this pitfall nobody warns us about when it comes to our passion. Passion The passion faith trap. That's what I call that. So passion plus purpose keeps the fire alive when motivation disappears. Remember, motivation will disappear. I've said that before. There'll be times when you say, oh my God, did I make the wrong mistake? Oh my God, am I in the right place? You know, and everybody around is like, who told you to leave that oil and gas job for this? Who told you to do this? You know, nobody's motivating you, but you have to motivate yourself, right? So you have to keep that fire alive. You have to encourage yourself because that vision is for you. I'll tell you a quick story. So I have this friend, you know, he's a serial entrepreneur. And I told him one day, I was like, guy, you know what? I have 5 things I want to build. I want to build this. I want to build this. I want to build that. And he was like, oh, great, fantastic. Maybe I'll tell you guys one of it. So I said, that I want to have a Christian club where, you know, it's going to be like a club, but it's more like Christian, you know, every Wednesday, Friday, people will come there, jam, dance, you know, Christian music and all of that. You know, I told the guy, and I'm like, if you tell anyone, I'm going to have to kill you. You know, this is what I want to do. And the guy was like, hey, come on, that what's wrong with you? That look, if you are passionate about this, if the vision is yours, you know, no one can steal it. I say, you know how it is, you know, you bring out something, people replicate. Money Point came out, people are coming out, you see Ope, you see this, everybody's just replicating what you're doing and doing it better. He says, no, that if that passion is yours, no matter what, people can't do it as much as you do it, because you would not be tired. You would always have that fire to do it, right? So I just said that to let you know that there will be times when things will go down. Guess what? In a couple of weeks after, I saw that there's I went on Instagram and I saw that someone had started this Christian club, and I was like, oh my God. Then I remember the conversation I had with the guy, and I was so glad I had that conversation, because I probably would have felt very demoralized. But it's something I'm still gonna do. But you know, just to let you know that at some point, you know, you might be demoralized, you might not have the motivation to carry on, but just know that you need that fire, right? And you need to, you know, confusing passion with ease is another pitfall that a lot of people get into. You know, the things you love are still very hard to do. Like I said, I want to have that Christian club. Of course, before I do that, I have to go and either rent or buy a property, which is hard right now because I live in Lagos, Nigeria. You know how money is very good to have right now. You know, you need to have a good DJ. You need to have so many things, right? So things you love may be very hard, but that difficulty is that point, right? And monetizing too early is always a problem, because you have to build something that people can believe in. People have to start coming to the club to say, you know, make it free, make it maybe 100 naira, 1,000 naira or something. Let them pay that fee to come in. When they're comfortable with you, then you can now start thinking about how to, you know, make income out of it. And going alone is a great pitfall. You have the community of textilers, you have other communities, you know, that you can push in your products, push in your ideas and say, look, this is what I'm doing, guys. You know, I need your support. I need you to come in. You can't build it alone. You can't be an island, right? And comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 is not going to work. You're saying, oh, you know what? I'm starting this thing. This is my passion. This person did it. Dangote is there. You know, for crying out loud. At some point, let me even use Alhaji Razak Okoya. I heard he was selling plantain chips in traffic. Right now, that guy is a billionaire. You know, so you can't compare where you are, where your starting point, with someone else that's been there for a couple of years, right? So let's have a life exercise. Now, look at this again. I'm so sorry because of time. I wish we could all do this together, but we're just going to look at it. Maybe 1 or 2 people can answer this question. What activities makes you lose track of time completely? Can someone just think about it? What are the things? Is there anything I'm doing, or is there anything I do at sometimes that I don't even look at the time? You know, I walk into the early hours of the morning. Can someone please give us an example of that? Is there anyone here that's had that kind of feeling, or is in that kind of space right now, or in that journey right now? Yeah, go ahead, Sunday.
That happens whenever I'm delivering the training. It usually takes longer than planned.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Yeah. maybe Chukwemeka, you answer the next one. The second one is, what problem would you solve for free starting from today? Chukwemeka, what's that thing? I know you have talked about your passion for Africa. So what's that problem you're
For
gonna-
me, yeah, I'm looking at climate solutions for Africa. Precisely. GIS for secondary school, geographical secondary school. I want to take GISQ down to secondary public school. Precisely. That's my passion for now. Like I will
Excellent.
not even waste time solving it free of charge.
Thank you. Excellent. That's
Hello?
sustainability. Fantastic. So
I'm working in
Isiaka,
environment.
say that again, James.
I'm working on an environment program for the
Oh,
community.
environment problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
my own is I have passion for solving water problems. I like
Water
plumbing
problem.
and
Fantastic.
any other type of work. Yes,
Fant-
any type
fanta-
of water problem. Passion. I can
Fantastic.
even do it for free, even if you pay me or not. It doesn't matter.
Automation and robotics.
Fantastic. Okay, so I want Ika to answer this. What would you regret not starting in next 10 years? What would you look back and say, oh, I wish I did this 10 years ago? Isiaka, you have your hand up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Not automating solutions for small businesses in Nigeria is what
Fantastic.
I would regret.
Fantastic. So that means you have to start it now. That means you have to start thinking about it now, right? Where
Yeah, I am
SMEs can
automating already.
integrate.
I just want to-
Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Where SMEs will integrate and be able to share ideas and share solutions and share data and share information. So who is going to help us with what skill do people always ask for your help with? What's that thing that, people will be like, oh, James, can you help me do this? Oh, okay, go ahead. Chukwemeka, go ahead.
I think
that would be on
for
tech.
me, every time of my life, I think, like from childhood, people come to me for any tech problem, whether it's my
Fantastic.
department, whether it's my field, but I kind of find a way to find solution for them. It's either I have the knowledge or I have people that know how to solve it for them. And one other thing is a lot of people, adult, young, come to me for mentorship when it comes to career, life, choosing, decision in terms of
Fantastic.
course and all this.
Fantastic.
So I think this
Fantastic.
is two things that I do with passion every time in my life. Light from primary 6 is not like now.
Fantastic. So you can start building a solution around that. Maybe a mentorship solution or a broker solution where you are the middleman. You don't have any risk. Someone has a problem, someone that has a solution. So you're just the middleman and you're building it. Yeah, ITSU in 30 seconds. Can you tell us?
Good morning, ma.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
I see myself like how would I put it now? People come to me for like, okay, I have this issue now. How would I give solutions to their issues, to their problem, maybe their business, they want to start a business, that kind of like consulting. That kind of thing.
Correct.
How you mean, ma?
Fantastic. So that means you and Chukwemeka should connect and build a solution for Nigeria, for Africa. That's fantastic. Thank you. So there are 5 takeaways I'm going to give to us today, right? And number 1 is passion is developed and not discovered. So don't say, oh, I was born with this passion. Yes, you can be born with it, but you have to discover it. You have to develop it, right? You have this passion, you have to develop it. If you say, oh, I'm passionate about mentoring, and you don't have a single mentee, you've never been mentored. So what are you passionate about? How are you going to develop it? How are you going to become an expert in it, right? So you have to act first, then clarity follows your action. Then it's not about thinking, right? Then the skill is the bridge. If you don't have the skill, no matter how much you think you're passionate about this, if you do not have the skill, you cannot give what you don't have, So you need to build a skill around it. You need to start looking at people that have done it before, people that have done similar things. How can you make it better? How can you build that water solution for Africa? You know, what are the ingredients? You have to do your research. So you can't just say I'm passionate about building water and it just stops there, right? So your specific wellness, it's your edge. That stuff that you say, you know what, I just want to be a solution center. I want people that have issues to just come and I'll get people that can solve it for them. I just want to be a consultant, right? That is your urge. That is what you have above the next person that is doing something similar to what you're doing, right? Then you need to start small. Don't say, you know, I want to hit it big. No, start small, test the waters, because there are risks in everything that you do, right? Then you ship it. As soon as you have that idea, ship it out. Let people criticize that idea. It will help you to build a bigger solution and a more robust solution. But if you say, no, I want to wait for it to be perfect, you know, it's never going to happen. I'm praying to God that one day I'm going to have to be, you know, teach you guys, you know, agile methodology, maybe next year or sometimes, you know, or maybe one of this inspiration period, so that you understand, you know, what agile is, how to build small and ship it out. Then you start iterating whatever you've built, you know, that solution. Then community compounds everything. Good enough you are in textilers, good enough you have a community. You have textilers, you have your village community group, you have your alumni community group. A lot of you are in so many WhatsApp group. Take advantage of this, right? So your one action for this week is build one small thing related to your passion. Share it with one person or share it in textilers community. Just throw it out there. You'll be amazed that a lot of people would key into it, right? I want to support what you're doing. And if you want to share it in your social media, go ahead and do that. You know, and hashtag textilers, or you hashtag my passion, my career. Let's look at how we can push this and let it go viral, right? The best time for you to have started this was yesterday, but the second best time is today. And I just want to encourage you that you shouldn't give up. Howard Tubman said, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive. Because if you ask what the world needs, right, each and every one of us, over 7 billion, almost 12 billion people right now on earth, needs different things, right? So you will get confused. But what makes you come alive? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel, oh, this is me, I did it, I achieved it, you know, yes, I've been able to impact the world, right? That's what Howard is saying here. And having said that, I'd like to say a big thank you to the community. Thank you, textilers. Thank you for listening to me today. You already have everything that you need right now. So go out there, build that career, build that passion, prove it, and let's do the hashtag and let's make your work viral. Thank you so much. And again, I apologize for starting late. Thank you. So questions, please. No questions?
Please, can we have this recorded version? Can this recorded version be on the link so that we can?
Yes, it's going to be on our YouTube. Yes, it's going to. Yeah, go ahead. ITSU
Okay.
30ZN. Go ahead with your question. I know the next class starts in 3 minutes, so we have to get out of here. Please go ahead with your question.
So like around that consulting like this, I always have this idea of like I was going out yesterday, I was looking at the chances, like the BRTs, and I was seeing school students like they were coming back from school and they were like waiting for buses. I was always thinking of, since we have a calorie card, why can't they have like a kind of like a school calorie card? That's when you like when you said which problem do you? I was saying I was always thinking of transportation, because everywhere someone needs to get from one place to another. The students also need to get from one place to another. So if you can also have like a carry card for each, like okay, this school has their own carry card. This one that, so they can recharge on it, they can get a carry card. Something I remember.
Yes, I am. That's
So
fantastic.
I was just looking at it. Okay. So so where do I need to start from now?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. So, where do you need to start from? Start from your alumni, your primary school, your secondary school, right? Develop an ID card that has chip on it and take it to the school and say to your principal, your head of school, that you want the student to have this, and you partner with banks, have an API that goes with your solution, partner with banks and say, look, um let students be paying 100 naira as against 200 naira for the bus and all of that. Start from that your school, right? That your community. And I'm sure they want to listen to you as an alumni of that school. And before you know it, other schools will key into it, right? You can even add another thing to it, add a geolocation to it so that parents can track their children, especially now with the insurgents and insecurity. They can track their children with that chip. They know if they've entered the bus, they know if they're out of the bus, they know the location of the children, right? So that's fantastic.
Yes,
Any other
ma. Yes,
question?
ma.
Isaka?
Something like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done. Isaka, how about you? Quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to confirm if there's probably a track to become a consultant in the tech space.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a consultant, so yes, there is. I mean, we're going to have other sessions. We have another session next week talking about AI and as my business partner. Then we have starting a startup, my startup journey, where I'm going to tell you about my
Like
story.
probably
So,
getting a certificate or like being a certified consultant.
so I haven't seen any certification around that area, but you can learn from other consultants. You can do intern, you can learn, you can work in consulting firm, and absolutely, it's possible to be a consultant in tech. Yeah, I mean, look me
Okay.
up on LinkedIn. We can have that discussion. Chukwemeka.
Okay. This is your username, right? On LinkedIn.
Yes.
For me, I've been asking a question on how we can solve insecurity in Nigeria using geographic information system. It's one of the problems I've been asking myself since rising insurgents in Nigeria. And using GIS to solve issue of insecurity in Nigeria.
Absolutely,
if
that's
possible.
fantastic. That it is so possible. A lot of people use I know a company that is using GIS right now. Yes, it is very possible, and I just saw something a couple of minutes, I think an hour before this session started, and it was about I don't know if you guys follow X closely, especially with Nigerian stuff. So there's this thing about VDM and the video that he released about the president, and someone had actually gone ahead, someone in Canada had done a research and was able to locate who the originator of that video is. The guy is in Ondo State and all of that, brought out his LinkedIn and his Twitter account and everything that has to do with the guy, the originator of that video, who happens not to be VDM as claimed, right? And this is allegedly. Now, there's so many solutions you can do to help, right? But you need to make sure that it gets to the right person or the right people or the right agency that would help you push it to solve this insurgents issue. That's fantastic. Any other question? I know it's time for the next class. For those of you that are not going for the next class, you can stay back and ask your questions. But those that need to go, thank you so much for listening to me. And once again, I apologize for joining late. I was in another I used another link, and I don't know why I was in a different link. All right. So any other question? Yeah, Isiaka, please go ahead.